supernatural personal experience. Did you have one?
How are they like? What am I supposed to say? Can you give an example of supernaturals?
Yes, for example, you had an experience that you have seen a ghost or an
No, no
angel,
ghosts.
or have you talked with God before?
Talked with God before?
Yeah,
Like straight up talked to God like Moses
yeah,
did?
yeah, like a conversation, yeah.
How can that be possible if only Moses did that? And we have in the Quran that Moses did that. How can anybody else do that?
Okay, just because someone did it, that doesn't mean others cannot do it, right?
So you're saying it's possible.
If it's possible, I mean, it's like if it's true that Moses talked to God, then that means it's possible. Then why not? Others cannot do the same.
Maybe because it's a different person with different energy, different level,
What level you
more
mean?
enhanced human being, like closeness to God, a more awareness of God, an expansion of consciousness better than ours.
Oh,
So he can't do that.
okay. If such a communication requires such kind of abilities, maybe then, but it's still would be a guess to say that only Moses had that level. Would be
Well,
guess, right?
well, that's why like we're curious here. That's why I asked if it's possible. Do you know anybody else that did that? That's why you're sure about it.
I'm not sure about it. Like I even don't believe a God exists, or I don't believe that humans are talking to gods, having communications. I don't believe in those things. But if God exists, and if someone talked to God, that creates the possibility, right?
So you're saying God does not exist?
I'm not saying I
Because
don't know if any God
because
exists
you,
or not.
what's your background like?
And there's no need to talk about the background. I'm an agnostic atheist. We can talk about what I am right now.
An agnostic atheist
Yeah.
knows that there's something out there,
No, he
but
doesn't know.
he doesn't.
He doesn't
He
know a
doesn't know if
God
there's
exists.
anything out there
No, we're not talking
or
about
not.
anything. We're talking about God here. So, an agnosticism is about God. So, an agnostic doesn't know a God exists or not.
Oh,
Yeah, and I don't know.
well,
And
is
that's
it is
why
it is it part of your journey to find out, or are you like convinced and that's all you got?
convinced about what?
Like, are you striving to, understand it further that if there was or wasn't a God, or are you just convinced and that's it? There's no God.
I'm not convinced. Yeah, I'm not convinced that there is a God or there is not God. Yes, I'm on the way of searching. Yeah, maybe there is a God, or maybe there are many gods. I would be happy to find out one. Depends, related to what kind of God I'm going to find in the end. But yeah, I mean, it would be different for me and exciting for me to find a God.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was interested in this table because it sort of combines religion and supernaturals, and I would look at spirituality to a certain degree to be supernatural abilities, right? Because you can do things that are abnormal.
We can, for
And
example,
yeah, in the supernatural, in the spiritual world, you could do supernatural things like levitation and
I don't believe
um,
those things
like,
are even possible.
well, aren't they supernaturals?
I don't
Because
think
it's
they
not
have
natural.
been presented like evidentially.
But how would you like have the relief of its proof? You want like something physical? Is that how you get convinced?
Depends on the claim. For example, if you claim that you drank 2 liter of water today, I wouldn't even try to seek some evidence for it. I would say, okay, I believe, no problem. But if you tell me that while I was drinking water, I was levitating magically, then I would question that. I would require more evidence understand if that was the case or not.
So if somebody were to levitate right in front of your eyes, would you believe in it or
Not
not?
immediately. I would want to test it. Okay. So if it's a specific location, I wouldn't take it because it can be easily, maybe not easily, but it could be arranged in a tricky way, right?
Ex-
So they're magicians, but it's not magic. They use tricks to uh, make illusions, right? So
Yeah, but you seem pretty sure about the tricks, but you're not
we
sure about
yeah
it being real.
exactly we are sure about the tricks because we know we can easily test their existence. But when it comes to magic, real magic, we don't have good evidence for that.
What did you test the tricks?
I don't have to test the trick because they already say that it's a trick, okay? And we know we can also do the tricks, right? So that means tricks exist.
Okay, so just because they said it, and if somebody comes up to you and says, "This is not a trick," so you believe him, just like you
No, I
believe the
don't
guy that did a
believe.
trick.
No, no, no.
So it's not about him saying what it is.
No, yeah, sure. It's not about what he's saying to me because it's about possibility, right? So we can do the tricks even by ourselves, right? So that means tricks exist. And when we see a magic show, we tend to think that it's a okay. They don't even claim that it's a magic. It's real magic. That doesn't mean it's not, by the way. Okay, but again, there are a lot of evidence that tricks exist, but when it comes to magic, or real magic or whatever, we don't have good evidence for it. Like people claim to do that, but if some are investigated, we understand that it's just a trick, and we have many examples like that, and no good examples for the real magic. So that's why I don't believe in magic.
Well, you can't really have like a physical evidence for magic because it's magic. It's like behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, that increases a lot of suspicions that it could be a trick that we don't understand.
Like if I would give an example to that, we have in the Quran it says وَشُبِّهَ لَهُمْ. That means it looked like from the magic they were doing, it looked like it was a snake that came up, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
is magic, and at the same time, it looks like magic. So it takes the both ways.
I don't care that much about what Quran says. Why we are taking Quran right now? Why it's relevant what Quran
But
says about magic?
it's just you would look at it as a book of knowledge, same as if you were reading science or math.
I'm sure I wouldn't take Quran as an book of knowledge because it has a lot of claims that are not proven clearly. Existence of God, angels like prophets, afterlife, and many other claims that those things are not tested. So and that loses the credibility of that book. Why should I take it as a source of knowledge? I mean, sure, I could take it like to understand the life of Arabs, okay, the mentality of those people at that time, but not further.
But have you done so?
Done what exactly?
Like gone through it?
You mean did I read the Quran?
Yeah,
Sure, I read. Yeah,
you read it, and that's a way for you to understand the Arabs.
well, there are things that we can understand something from Arabs. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we can have a clear cut understanding about those people. In the end of the day, it's just a
Well,
book,
I'm
right?
well. Why I'm concerned about that because the Quran has nothing to do with Arabs. You said to understand Arabs. It has nothing to do with Arabs. It's
But
a
that book,
religion.
do you think that book came from, I don't know, Jewish people or
No, it came from
Christians?
Arabs, but has nothing to
Yeah,
do with
so
Arabs.
uh like Arabs are writing a book and it doesn't have anything to do with Arabs, so what?
Yeah, but if you lead with that, it's written in Arabic, but you don't read the book to understand the Arabs.
Okay, that's not what I said. I said like those are like you can get something, an opinion about Arabs by reading the book, but
Okay, so
sure, the book is not like
okay,
aiming to explain how Arabs were living at that time. That's not the purpose of that book. I understand that.
yeah. So what I'm saying from that, if you had if you led with that, then I would say you haven't really gone through the book. So how can you make a claim about it?
It's very simple. Like if I say that Arabs at that time believed that a God exists. They believed angels exist. They believed the other stories of other religions, for example, Moses' stories or Jesus' stories. So they were believing in those stories too. If I say that, if I look at the Quran, if I learn it from the Quran, don't you think it's clear that I can get such an information about Arabs? Because that's what they believed at that time, right? They worship that book or they accepted that book or followed that book, right? And that book is speaking about those things, and the book came from Arabs. That means they follow the book, right? So I can understand their
Well, you
beliefs, what they were believing, right?
yes, but
Yeah.
I think Jesus wasn't Arab at the time. If you're talking about
I
Jesus or
didn't say
Moses,
he was Arab, but like Arabs, they believed Moses was a prophet, right?
not Muslims believe that, not
Muslims,
Arabs.
so Arabs, they don't believe that Moses was a prophet.
And Arabs, they could be Christians, they could be Jews.
Oh, okay, that's a mistake. I accept that. But Muslims at that time, they believed Moses was a prophet, right?
Yes.
Okay, so and I can learn this information from Quran also, and we know that the book came from some specific region, and Arabs were living there, and Muslims. So later on, they called themselves Muslims, and I can learn about their beliefs from Quran, right?
Yeah.
So I can use Quran such a source like to understand something about those people, what they believed. Okay. So but as I
But you
said,
should have led with Muslims, not Arabs. If you say
I'm
I read the
sorry for
Quran to read to learn about
the choice of
Muslims,
word. I'm
not
so
Arabs.
sorry. I'm so sorry. Like how many times I should apologize? Like I'm sorry. Like it's like
No, don't apologize. I'm not. I'm. It's not about apology. I'm just saying, like, for clarification.
yeah. I think it's clear now.
But
But let's go to the
yeah,
main topic. So I'm not interested in what people were believing at that time. We already know that what they believe and what now they believe or you believe, right? So you're a Muslim. I know what you believe in, right? So and but yeah, why I wouldn't use Quran as a source for when it comes to these questions because those claims are not proven and we don't have good evidence
well,
for that.
so you don't use the Quran because, like, briefly.
I
Say it
told you
briefly.
how I could use it. I explained.
So you read it to understand, like, Arab's history,
No,
right?
that's not my purpose when I was reading and when
Muslim.
I'm reading right now.
Okay, what is it? Just briefly tell me what it is.
I don't think it's very relevant why I was reading the Quran, right? So we well know the
No, but
claims in the Quran, right? So we can talk about those claims because this is the purpose of this table, and these are the topics: God, religions, morality, right? So God, we can talk about God, right? So and Quran claims that God exists, and even Muslims believe that the book came from God, right?
yeah.
Well, we can talk about that.
But I was trying to understand what you go to the Quran for, that made you not believe in it, so I could give you a reason for you to believe in it, and
Oh,
then we could go on with that.
yeah, like I just gave you the biggest reason, which is Quran is full of claims that I cannot.
Full of claims.
Yeah, existence of God, existence of angels, existence of communication between humans and angels or God, existence of afterlife, existence of other creatures that we don't see, for example, jinns, okay, and existence of some miracles. So what else do you want me to add? These are the
Um.
claims that I don't
Okay.
find good evidence for.
Okay. So you don't believe in demons and angels because you don't have any physical evidence. That means you didn't see them literally.
I don't have to see them literally, but yes, if I would, I can see them literally, that would be great evidence for me. Yeah.
Okay. But if you weren't to see them literally, how would you have the evidence for that?
Sorry, come again?
If you didn't see them literally, how would you have the evidence
Which
for
evidence?
that? Evidence of them existing, angels, the demons. If you didn't see them
If
literally,
I
because they're not
don't
supposed
see
to be
them,
seen literally.
okay. Like I can think about it, like how I could be convinced that they exist, even if I don't see them directly with my own eyes, because there are things that I believe that I don't see with my naked eyes, but still I believe. For example, existence of air. I don't see the air through my eyes, but we can detect air in different ways, right? So maybe such a way. So yeah, that's the answer of your question.
Okay. Okay, so why don't you believe in demons if you haven't
Because
seen them? If you believe in air,
why I don't believe in them, because I didn't see them and I didn't test them. That's why.
did you test the air?
Yeah, I can test the air even right now.
How do you test the air?
That's not relevant. Can you test demons?
That's my point here. So
Like
you can't test both. So how
this is
would you
not
believe?
this is not a physics 101 class that we should make some experiments about things, right? So like,
No,
do you have
because you're.
testable evidence for demons or not? Right now my
Do I
fan
have?
is right now my fan is working and it's blowing the air to me, and I can sense it on my skin even. Okay, so
Yeah, but you don't know that's air. It could be something
I
else.
don't know if
That's
it's
the thing here.
air.
Yeah, you
Okay,
don't know if it's air. Do you know it's air?
I brought one evidence. Maybe it's not enough for you to believe that air exists. I don't know why you don't believe air exists, but at least like I brought one
I'm
evidence
giving
for
you an
air. Okay,
example.
so
I'm not saying I don't
okay.
believe it.
You're not convinced that air exists. Okay, through my evidence, no problem. Okay, so what's your evidence right now for demons?
Okay, I'll give you my evidence the way I put it, but let me finish, okay? Like, let me
Finish
follow through.
what?
Can you hear me?
I hear
I'll
you.
give you my evidence.
Okay.
I'll give you my evidence. Let me finish. Let me finish the whole thing. Like, don't interrupt in the middle of it. Okay?
Uh, I'm not promising, but go on.
So you're gonna interrupt me when I'm talking?
I said I'm not promising. That means maybe I will, maybe not.
Okay, so you might interrupt me.
I might, yeah.
Anyways, okay. Uh, our evidence is that, and it says it in the Quran. Now I know that you don't believe in the Quran. I don't, and I don't have to believe in the Quran to get it out of my main source, but I do because of reasons. One of the reasons is because the information that's been said on it, like 1,400 years ago, uh, that has just been discovered by scientists nowadays in the late 1900s, right? And they proved that things that have been said in the Quran was impossible for somebody to know back then, and they only done so by like high tech technology, like microscopes, and done things done in the lab. They discovered that things that have been said in the Quran was real. Now, if Muhammad wrote the Quran and it wasn't from God, it wasn't from the angels, then it wouldn't be possible because they didn't have the technology back then. And they just discovered it now. That tells you that the source of information that's written in the Quran is true. So if one of it is true, another is true, and another is true, and this is where you get your information from. That makes it a dependable source if we're talking like logics and sense.
Yeah. Are you done?
Yep.
Okay,
Thank you
so
for not interrupting me.
um, you're welcome. I mean, I could interrupt, but anyway. So you said Quran says, and you already agreed that like you don't care about Quran because like I don't believe Quran is true. That doesn't mean I believe Quran is false. By the way, you said like some information discovered now. What information you're talking about?
I'm talking about one of the ayat that talks about a mosquito. It goes like the ayah goes like this in Arabic. إن الله لا يستحي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها, which means God isn't like hesitant to give an example as small as a mosquito, and the things above the mosquito and the entities above the mosquito. Later on, they discovered that there are little entities above
Uh,
the mosquito,
yeah, and
smaller than the
I know the
mosquito.
example. I'm sorry, that's why I'm interrupting you. I know this example. That's why I'm interrupting. Okay, so to me, like the interpretation is just an interpretation. So to to show that Quran is a miraculous book, it has miraculous information. So this same verse could be understood. God is not refraining to give examples like small things, even small things like unwanted things. So mosquitoes are something that disturbing for people, right? And God is not afraid of giving even such small examples, even can give more or above these example. So the same verse could be understood in this way, but I think it's just, being picky about the interpretation, and you not you will cherry pick this interpretation to say that, oh look, we just discovered like some other small creatures even on the mosquito. They're so small they were not able to see that. So voila, you see Quran is a miraculous book, and it could be true. I'm not saying false, but when there is a natural explanation for it or another interpretation also makes sense, I wouldn't go with the one that seems like people are trying to show the Quran a miraculous book. It could be true, I don't know, but my interpretation can be also true. So that's why,
Yeah, but since you're saying both of them have the possibility of being true or false,
yeah.
how can we stand by your basis right now?
Yeah, well, I can explain it easily because when we read the Quran, we see that like there's some problems, not very big problems, but some problems are big problems. For example, the creation of the universe. It talks about the creation of the earth, then speaks about the creation of stars later on. So it seems like people were believing at that time earth was created before the stars. So that's a really, really, false understanding about the universe. And when I also read other verses in the Quran, for example, the rotation of the celestial bodies, which is stars, planets, the moon, and the sun. Okay, so when we read these verses in the Quran, it seems like it's just a simple observation. A man who was living at that time. It's not a God looking above and knows everything about the universe. It doesn't sound like that. It's just say, oh, everything has its orbit. Okay, that's what they were observing. They were looking at the stars and moon and the sun, and they were just orbiting. And they just mention about this, and it doesn't feel like this information is coming from a God who created everything. So, and there are other things also. For example, someone mentioned in the chat box about the where the sperm comes from. The Quran says that it comes from between backbone and the ribs, and we don't have knowledge right now. So this is, not matching with our scientific knowledge right now. You can say that, oh, maybe in the future we will discover that it's coming from there. But yeah, maybe there are other examples, but I think these are enough. I don't want to talk too long.
Okay, okay. So how would you like distinguish and like separate these two if you weren't if you didn't have like a religion between right and wrong? What would you call it?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
Like if you put it into religion, we got Christians, Jews, and Muslims. They refer as something that's they put two a like if you're being judged, it's either you're right and you're wrong, it's false or right, right? So what would you go by if you weren't religious? What would you say?
Still don't get your question. I'm a non-religious person. I don't follow any religion. I don't believe in a God. So can you simplify the question?
Yeah,
I'm
like we are based on right and wrong, okay? Heaven and hell, right? These two that separate, that gives the person a path to go by. If he chooses right and wrong, he gets heaven or hell. As an atheist, what do you have, given the fact that you do not have any
Oh, you
religion?
talk about morality.
Yes.
Yeah, I go with the moral standards that I learned from my society, and it's hard to change many of them. And some of them are even intuitive. I can say I can accept. And to me, it's very subjective, and I choose my own way. But my own way is affected by many religions, including your religion and other religions, and also other things, as I said, biological reasons. So I just thought, but that doesn't mean this is right or wrong. I cannot even claim that it's
O-
the right way. My way is the right way. I cannot claim that.
Okay, can I give you my way and you give me your opinion as an atheist?
I told you I don't have a right way or wrong way. I already explained my way. Okay, I said my way is heavily affected by religions and other things, also my reasoning. So it doesn't have anything to do with you, or you don't have to follow with what I'm saying. It's my personal opinion.
No, I'm just interested because I think you have the mind to answer. Like you're educated on it. So I was trying to get an open opinion. It doesn't have to be religious or anything. And I think it goes for all the religions and even those that are atheists.
So you want to learn like how do I live my life?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, not how you live your life, like how like, the brain set, the mindset.
I
Sorry.
just explained like I'm heavily affected by my society, my culture, and the religions, or my ex-religion, and plus other religions too. So I think it's not hard to understand. For example, I also don't favor for killing other people because I care about my life, okay, and I don't want other people to be killed. Because I know that in a society where people kill each other, that will increase the risk of my survival. So if I'm in a society where killing is allowed, then I can lose my life easier than the other societies. So I can say killing is bad for me, but it's as I said, it's just subjective. Okay, it doesn't have to be a rule. It's not a rule. It's just what I see and what I want. Lying, or I don't know, torturing. So I don't think we have different kind of mindsets about these, you know, fundamental moral questions. Let's say.
Okay, so I would say like the problem of an atheist is he hasn't seen something physical for him to be 100% sure. That's why he's
Uh,
skeptical.
I can never be 100% sure about anything except
And
my, existence. Let's say.
that's where belief comes in, because it doesn't
Yeah,
have to be 100% right.
and that's why I believe in many things too. So an atheist doesn't mean who doesn't believe in anything. Atheist means a person who doesn't believe in God, and that's all. That's very simple.
Okay. Uh, Let me just say something. I'm gonna get off. We were talking about supernatural personal experience, right? And you said you didn't believe in demons.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I was approached by a demon, but I don't know if I then explain it, you might say that it's an illusion, it's a sort of a thought process or anything. You could say anything you want because you don't believe it, right? So I just it was me, and I had friends also that explained to me that they've gone through these kind of supernaturals. I was sleeping in my bed, right? And as soon as I want to sleep, I felt somebody just come up to me and he goes like, ooh, like he just surprises me. He just wants me to get up. And his voice was thick. You know, these thick voices like that. It goes like, that kind of thick voice. I immediately knew that was a demon, right?
Okay.
And that's yeah, that's my experience. That's my experience. Plus, also when I was sitting down, I see uh like a white shadow, right? It was a shadow and it was white and it had a structure and it moved very swiftly. And every time I turn to it, it's not there, but I could see it when I'm looking. Like you know how you look from the side eye, and as soon as I look, he's gone. It's like he's that fast. That was another experience. And one of my friends, he was going through. There was a time he was going through where he was away from God, away from religion. We have to pray every time, five times a day. He was like, I haven't prayed for 3 months. I gotten away from God. I gotten very depressed. I gotten all that. And then he was like, I started seeing demons, and he even explained the demons. He was like, they were like small midgets, very short midgets, and they're so jumpy. They're jumpy. They move very fast and they jump. He goes like every time, like I sit down, they would come near, they jump over my bed, and they'd start doing faces and all that. And then I started to pray, and they started to go away. Little by little, they started going away. As soon as I got like close to God, and his faith grew, because us Muslims, we have, if your faith goes down, right, you become like accessible by all the creatures out there, all the spiritual creatures. Not even that, even you get sensitive over things, and this is where trouble comes from. That's where the problem comes from. You get sensitive over things. And
Yeah,
that was my experience.
I understand. It was just a question, okay? Like, there are people who claim to have invisible friends, like humans. Like, they're not claiming that it's a demon or something else. They claim that they have friends, but they're not visible to us. What do you think about those people?
Um, I think they might be telling the truth. Maybe it is so. Because I believe in like spiritual life. I believe that the body could come next to you as a spirit and not as like a physical being, as if though the person himself is there.
Yeah,
I
but
believe in all that stuff.
those people claim that it's like a physical body. It's not like something else.
Like, can you touch it?
Like they claim to touch it, but we, as an observer, we don't see their friends. They claim to touch it, sense it, and just like a normal person.
Well, if you put it in if you go up to a normal random guy in the street and you ask him that, he's gonna say there's no such thing and all that. But if you go out for somebody that's like studied spirituality and so is like at least excited to learn about it, that like me, and I would say anything, anything. I mean when I say anything is possible,
Okay,
anything could
when you
happen.
say anything is possible, so that means this is also possible. What I'm going to say, which is like our brains work in a way that we can create really vivid images, imaginations. Like we see something as if it's there, but actually it's not there. It's just like a game of our brain. So that means, I mean, what you meant means this is also possible. Am I right?
Yes,
So if this is possible also, how can we differentiate between your experience versus this experience? Your experience suggests that there are things out there that they're not depending on your mind or brain, let's say. But the other example depends on the person's brain, right? How to differentiate those two examples? If it's both of them are
I bet
personal.
I bet that's the problem you're having with atheists. That's why you don't believe in God because you're unsure. I mean,
But how can you be
if you
sure?
ask me,
Because both things, like, so I'm not saying it's impossible to, like, I'm not saying that like demons are fake or not real. Maybe they're real, okay? But you also said that or accepted that, like, my example is also possible. If that's the case, I mean, if both are possible, how to see the difference? Which one is which? What if like
by going
that demon example was just an illusion that your brain created, like your fears? Because in Islamic world, like this is also something that people learn. When you are far from the God or religious practices, then you will see creatures. This is the myth. This is the stories that are being told, and people may get some fear because of those stories, and they may start overthinking about their condition, and maybe they start seeing things that are not around them. Maybe that's the case, or maybe demons really exist. But my problem is how to differentiate between those things. It's not like atheists don't
Well,
believe in anything. Like I would believe in demons. Like I'm not even claiming that they don't exist.
well, if you ask me, then the Muslims they put the illusion at it as if though it's real. That means if there was an illusion, the illusion is real.
The
You
illusion
understand?
is real, okay? I mean, like we can both agree on this.
A
Like,
real, yeah, it's like a real illusion. Just like I'll give an example. Like if you sleep, you dream, you feel the dream is real. Well, it's not real. It's a
yes,
dream. When you wake up, yeah, like that. So
you see.
if you're seeing if you're seeing demons, if you're seeing demons, you say it might be an illusion. What I say is it is an illusion and it is a demon at the same time because the demons come as an illusion, as in the Quran would describe. Shubbiha ilayhim. That means it looked as if. That means it's an illusion. So they come by an illusion. That's what magic is all about. It's a magical creativity that comes from the illusion. It comes from the thought of you, let's say, thinking about it, believing it.
Yeah, so like that's another thing. So maybe according to this information, maybe Quran even doesn't claim that demons are real. It just says it's just hallucination or illusion.
No, in the Quran, no, no, no. I was when I said this, I was talking about the magic, and we have magic. It's made out of demons. It's moved by demons. But if you're saying that in the Quran it might be illusions of demons, then we have a whole surah about it. It talks about it, and it goes like this. It goes like we, the tribe of the jinns, have witnessed that there was we've heard the message that came. We witnessed that there is only one God, and the Prophet is his messenger. There's a whole surah that talks about them literally talking. You
But that
understand?
doesn't mean
So
it's real. That doesn't mean Gen 6 is like just because a book speaks about, So like if Lord of the Rings are talking about elves, that doesn't mean elves are real, right? Like, the same goes for any kind of book. So if there's a story in a book, that doesn't mean it's true or false. I'm not saying it's
I'm
false
I'm not
again.
I'm not giving you information based on the Quran.
You
I'm giving
just
you
quoted from
information
the
based
Quran.
on information. No, I'm rephrasing what you thought that there wasn't in the Quran. You said there wasn't. It could be an illusion, and then I said
Uh,
there is an illusion because it talks about that.
Yeah, if
That's
it's
what
an
I'm saying. So
illusion, then what we're talking here, because I can also say easily that people can have illusions of demons or anything. We can have illusions. Why not? Our brain is so creative. We can have any kind of illusions. I don't have any problem to say that.
yeah, but the way I put it, like I'm saying, there is an illusion and it's not an illusion at the same time. You could create it, but how did you create it? How did it even happen if there wasn't a start to it? That
How
start
did it
gave it the
happen?
permission
By
for it.
learning like those stories from other people, other religions, right? That's how you learn those illusions.
Yeah, but how did it come to be if you didn't believe in it? You creating it with your illusions. So it is an illusion. At the same time, it's real from the illusion.
I don't think like the sentence makes a sense. Like it's an illusion and it's not an illusion at the same time. That sentence is contradictory. Okay, so I
How
can
is it
say that
contradiction? Look,
when you say illusion
look,
is real, that means like you had an illusion and this is true. You had an illusion. So, but when you say it's an illusion and at the same time it's real, that sounds a little bit weird and contradictory again.
yeah,
Either it's
it
an
does seem
illusion
to be contradictory.
or not.
It does seem like, to be honest, it does seem contradictory. But
Then
I'm
congratulations,
saying
you found another contradiction in the Quran.
no, not in the Quran.
You
I'm
said it's
telling the
from the
information
Quran.
from me. No, I didn't say it was from the
Yeah,
Quran.
but you
I
use
said
the
there's a whole
Quran
ayah,
for
but
your argument, but you said it says it seems like magic, right?
yeah,
Yeah, but it's magic at the same time. When you say it seems like
yeah. I was
magic,
talking about
uh,
no, I was talking about the opposite. Like if you come, it would look like from your point of end that it's an illusion, but it isn't an illusion.
okay, so if
شُبِّهَ
someone
إليه.
comes to you and claims that, hey, you know what, my friend can fly like a bird, and when you ask, hey, okay, like, why do you think so? If your friend tells you that I've seen my friend flying in my dream, so it was like a dream, but at the same time, I believe it's real. Does it make sense to you?
I come again. I didn't get it.
So the example is like your friend comes to you and says that, hey, Zazima, like I believe that my friend can fly like a bird. And when you question him, the answer is, I've seen him in my dream flying. He was flying like a bird. And yeah, it's a dream. I understand that, but I also believe that it's real. Doesn't make any sense to you, this example. Because this is
No,
literally
that
what you're
doesn't make
telling
sense.
me. You're saying that, yeah, it's an illusion. I accept that. But at the same time, it's real. That's what you're telling me. You're telling me the same thing.
No, when I'm saying that, I'm giving like one situation from that from all that. Another part of it, if I was to agree with you, I would say you're saying that the illusion might be like this some sort of disorder, some sort of sickness in that person.
You already accepted that, right? You said it's also possible.
What did I accept?
You said that, yeah, that's
Uh,
also possible. Because I gave you the example that a person claims to
no, I'm
have
trying to
real
make.
friends, and I referred to some, a mental disorder. Maybe I didn't say it
No, no,
clearly,
no.
but
I'm no, no. I'm
let's
saying
do it again. I'm sorry to strawman you. Okay. Do you think that it's possible that people can have mental disorders and then that can cause them to have real, like vivid hallucinations? Is it possible?
I think it is possible. It can
Okay.
happen,
Yeah. So
but the probability is low.
low. So it's
Yeah,
more probable
the
that there are things
probability is
that
low.
we don't see and like we experience them. This is more probable to you?
No, it's a different situation. There are different situations. There's a guy that has disorder and you see things as an actual illusion. There's this guy that has a disorder and he see things that are true that are also an illusion, which is the
That's the
demon itself.
problem. But maybe it's not an illusion. Maybe that's not a mental disorder. So like that was I was trying to say. I cannot differentiate if the guy has really a mental problem that caused him to create illusions, or what if it's real? What if something exists without him, without his brain, without needing his brain to exist, but somehow having an interaction with that person? And I don't know how to solve this problem. But you kind of were convinced that you solved this problem.
No, I'm putting it in a very like sort of sophisticated kind of way. I'm putting all the things together.
All the
You're
things.
just putting it out there as a doubt. You're like you're insistent on doubting everything without actual
You're
information.
insisting on bringing a lot of small clues together and making this big assumption. I was not criticizing this, but yeah, I think now you deserve that. So sure, I will be suspicious if someone says that I've seen a horse and there was a man on it and they were flying. Sure, I will be suspicious about those claims.
Who
If
are you
someone
referring
claims
to when you
that
say that?
I think you know what I was referring to, but another example, if someone claims that a guy split the moon in two pieces with his finger, sure, I will be suspicious.
Okay. Okay, you have all the right to be suspicious because these are
Yeah,
miraculous things you've never seen before.
I also never seen before.
Yeah, I haven't seen them too.
Yeah,
Well, I do believe in them, except you're doubting everything.
not everything. Please don't give misinformation. I don't doubt everything.
Well,
I
everything I
believe
did
in
say,
many
you're doubting
things.
it.
Like we're just talking about those supernatural things, and I'm doubting about them. I even gave you really good examples what I don't doubt about the Quran, but you just discarded all of them. I don't have a
What
doubt
did
that
I?
a Muhammad there was a guy called Muhammad, Jesus, Moses lived in the past. I don't have any doubt about that, and this information also comes from the Quran, right?
So how would you know it's true if it's from the
I
Quran?
wouldn't know it's true, but I don't have doubt about it. I'm not certain, but yeah, probably there was such a guy in the past.
So you're laying it down as what makes sense. You take it
It
when
makes
it's too
sense,
much.
like when people claim that there were people in the past they were living. Don't you think
And he was a
that's
prophet.
yeah? Like claim to be
and he was a
prophet. Yeah,
prophet.
also sure, people can claim that they were prophets. That's also very
How come you
possible.
didn't say that? How come you didn't say that he claimed there was? You're just claiming that there was
Your
a
mic a
guy
little
back
bit
in history.
muffled right now. Like, did you change something?
I'm saying, okay, you're doubting that there. You're doubting that the guy Muhammad was a prophet, but you're not doubting that there was a guy called Muhammad. Is
Yeah,
that
I'm
an
not
egotistical
doubting.
thing?
I don't know what you mean, but again, a person lived in the past is not a miraculous or supernatural claim. And why should I doubt? I mean, it's okay. Like you see, like you are like way more skeptical than me because you're not even able to believe that someone lived in the past. But
No, I'm
somehow,
asking you. You see,
yeah, and I
no,
explained
bro,
you
you
why
didn't
I do
understand
believe
what I
that
said.
people lived in the past because people can live in the past, right? And I don't have the
But that's not
resources to go
that's
and
not what I'm
check,
saying.
and I trust you, okay? It's not an issue if
No,
there
that's
was no guy called Muhammad in the past.
yeah, I know there's no issue, but you believe that and you didn't believe the other one.
Yeah,
Why are you
because
doubting?
I explain because like the other claims they don't have good evidence for me. For example, I don't see the God, I don't see the angels, I don't see the demons. Okay, I don't see an angel talking to a man, so that's why I'm doubting when someone claims that X person was talking to an angel. That's why I'm you know suspicious about that.
Okay, okay.
If we were just casually talking, and if I say, you know what, my grandfather's name was Michael, would you be skeptical about this? Would you say, no, man, I don't believe because I have never seen your grandpa?
I wouldn't be skeptical. I have no reason to portray you as a liar.
Yeah, but if I
Unbelievable.
said my grandpa was flying like a bird, clapping his hands, and he was able to fly, then you say, wait a second, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah, so
called
that's what I'm doing.
that's a miracle. Yeah, but him being a prophet isn't actually him flying. You had doubts that he was a prophet, but you believe he's a man.
I believe he was a man, yeah.
Yeah, but a prophet isn't him flying, and it's not miraculous. So you had doubts about that. That's what I'm saying.
Being prophet is like miraculous. I mean, being prophet is, you accept that
It's
there is a
it's not,
God, you accept that there is a communication between God and the person, right? So that's the, being prophet, right?
yeah. So is
So
that why you looked further on and you're like, if I believe in that, that means I believe in God. So I'm not gonna believe in that. Is this how it went?
yeah, it follows, right? Like if I don't believe a God exists, so how can I believe that a guy was talking to a God?
Hmm. Okay. Well, you know what? If I were to look at it, if I were to look at it, I would say that from a religious point of view, I would say rest assured that you're in good hands because God Himself gave you the right to choose your path. Whether if you choose yours to be atheist or not, He would also give you that path. The choice is yours. So all in all, I say you're good. I'd say you're pretty much as a Muslim as I am because you're following the same exact thing.
I don't think we're following the same things, but whatever you said, it's
Like
just a belief for me.
Muslims. There, our Prophet. You know what he says? He says there are 99 sections of Islam, right? And there is only one section that goes to heaven, right? So we're
Yeah.
divided into 99. Yeah, listen, this is important for you. There's 99 sections in Islam. That means there's divisions in Islam, right? Groups of people. Shia, Sunnah. And from the Shia, you got parts. And from the Sunnah, you got people, different groups, parties. He goes like, all of these are not gonna go to heaven except for one. and only one. So if you're getting, if you're having doubts and all that, then we have Muslims that also think they're right and they're probably wrong. You understand? You see all these people
So,
that go to the Kaaba, all these people that go to the Kaaba, all these people that probably Shias, Sunnas, different groups, all of them are wrong except for one.
mm, I
That's what
don't
we
know.
have. That's what the Prophet says.
That's what you believe that Prophet said. Okay,
Yeah, but it agrees with you. That's why I brought it up.
agrees with
It
me.
goes with you. Yeah, because you have your doubts uh, against religion, and I'm
Okay.
saying that the majority of it is wrong. So you are right at a percentage. You know.
I'm not sure what exactly you were trying to say, but you can be wrong about those statements. For example, let's suppose God exists and it's Allah, and maybe 99% of those people will be, in the heaven, maybe. So you don't know that too.
So you're doubting the negative things and the positive things.
Like, I doubt things, yeah. But when you claim something, I can easily doubt about it. Because when you say, this is what Prophet said, okay, there was a guy called Muhammad, he said something, right? I also believe that there was a guy and who said some things, okay? And then I start doubting because when you claim a lot of things about things that we cannot test, God, heaven, hell, right? Angels, yeah, I'll start doubting. So, like, maybe, like, as I said, you see, you believe that only 1% is on the right path. I could go even further. I could say maybe not one, maybe 99 of them are on the correct path. Or again, like maybe those differences are like very small to your God. You believe that those differences are so important, but maybe that's not the case for your God.
Yeah, but if Muhammad comes up and says that atheist is right, would you believe him?
If atheist is right, about what exactly?
Like if he says there is no God, it's just atheism.
I would say, how do you know God doesn't exist, Muhammad?
But don't you believe God doesn't
I
exist?
don't believe in that.
Do you agree with him or not?
I agree
If he
with
says
you.
that God doesn't exist
I never say
with
God
Muhammad.
doesn't exist. I wouldn't agree with him, but that doesn't mean I believe a God exists. I already said I don't believe a God exists. When you say I don't believe God doesn't exist, that means that's not my belief too, because there are hard atheist people who believe that there's no God. That's their belief, okay? And I told you I'm an agnostic. I don't know if any God exists or not. So how can I believe that God doesn't exist, or how can I believe that God exists?
But do you believe in there's like a power out there that's more greater than
I don't.
everything
I
and
mean,
anything?
depends on what you're claiming. For example, supernovas. Sure, like that's a great power. Or stars. They're
Super what?
big. Supernova, like
No,
an
something.
explosion of a star, or stars in the sky.
No,
They're
something
so
bigger than that.
powerful. Bigger. They're black holes.
Bigger than that.
Yeah, bigger. They're black holes bigger than stars.
Bigger than that.
The universe itself, maybe.
Bigger than that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing that I can imagine. And I don't have a
Bigger than
belief.
that. Come on.
No, I don't have a belief bigger than that. That doesn't mean
So
that
you
there
don't
cannot
believe
be.
you don't believe there's something bigger than the universe?
I
That
don't
there's something
believe.
that created all the universes that or something huger than the universes? Then you believe that the universe is your God because there's nothing
No,
more superior than it.
uh, come on. Why should I call the universe God? Because universe is a beautiful name. Why should I confuse the concept or the universe with a word which can mean something else, which is a being who intentionally created this universe, right? According to your belief, God is a super powerful, intelligent creator of this universe, right? And that
But
definition doesn't match with the universe, right? The universe is something else.
yeah, it does. It does match with the universe
It
because
doesn't.
what we believe is it does. It does. Trust
No,
me.
do you think the
Like
universe itself is intelligent?
it's all intelligence. Everything is intelligence,
So do you think the
not just
universe
the
itself
universe.
can plan and can create things intentionally? Like, do you think that the universe itself aware of its own existence?
Yes, and it's aware of God's existence too. That there's
That's
something
another
above it, and
belief.
there. No, I'm saying that there is always something above. Even if you go the furthest you can, and you said
Okay,
you stopped at
then
universe,
then
right?
who is
You, that's
above
the,
your God, Zazima? Maybe.
God is above his God. Not my
But
God.
you
God is
said
above God.
there's always something above on something. So then who is above your God?
God, God is above God.
God is, so there are many gods to you.
No, the same God is God on Himself.
The same God is on himself.
Yeah, that's
The same God,
mathematically right.
mathematically
Yeah, the
right.
same God. Yeah, the same God is His own God. That means there's no God but Him.
That's what
That's
you
what it
believe.
mathematically
So
interprets to.
okay, then why
No,
you're
I'm not.
not,
It's not.
why you're not
I'm not. I'm not
mathematically,
believe.
Zazima, why you're not mathematically reaching the same conclusion, which is the universe is above universe. There's nothing beyond universe. Why you're not reaching the same conclusion or similar conclusion in the same way?
What way? That there's universes above universes?
Not above universes. Like I don't like I know how you like even rephrase it. You said there is God above God, right? Same God.
Yeah, you
And
said who's above God. I said
yes.
God Himself is above
Okay,
Himself.
who is above universe? Universe himself above universe. I don't know what does it mean, but
Yeah,
you could say
yeah,
that, right?
exactly. Yeah, I can't say that. There's nothing wrong with it. The universe
Really?
is above its universe. If it didn't have something above it, it would be above itself.
If there is no something about it, you see, like you don't see that part. If there is nothing
No,
about, so like I'm not saying that there's nothing about the universe. By the way, maybe there is something above the universe and bigger than the universe, more powerful than the universe. Okay, but that also leads, a logical person to think that okay, if there is a creator of this universe who is intelligent and so powerful, then there can be something about that creator who is more and more powerful than he is. But somehow you just close all the doors, you stop reasoning, you're saying that God is above God, which doesn't make any sense.
no. That you're talking about God. When we say God, we're not talking about like religion wise or anything. We're talking about something that we don't know what it is, an entity that's
Okay,
that doesn't
good.
have a description.
Doesn't have a
Yeah, it doesn't have a
description,
description.
but you already
Yeah, you
described
can't.
it.
It does have a description, and it doesn't like you can't describe it further on.
Okay, so
So you
that
can't
means
get
you don't
something.
know this God, you don't know this superpower. That means this superpower can have a cause, which is another creature, right?
Does what the superpower can have what?
Can have another creator. So this the superpower maybe has been created by another superpower.
Yeah. So what's the problem?
But that doesn't fit your
What?
religion because according to your religion, there's only one God and there's nothing about this God.
It has nothing to do with God. You're talking about energy.
I'm not talking about energy. I was talking about your God.
Okay, I describe my God as all that is.
You described God as someone who doesn't have a creator, right?
I
S-
didn't say that, but he doesn't have a creator.
So but that's your belief.
That nobody created him?
Yeah, nobody created him is your belief.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't have to, care about it because it's just your belief. You don't have justification for it. You just like say it because of your book say so, and that's it.
Yeah, but you don't need to like phrase that as a belief. I mean, if you're looking in a logical kind of way, that's the
We
most
were trying
superior ultimate thing. Like
superior
name me
ultimate
something.
thing. Okay, like
Yeah,
what if it's
if
just
you had
just
a God, just
universe?
listen.
The universe itself,
Yeah,
maybe like this, like the most superior thing that exists. Maybe there's nothing beyond this universe. But this doesn't fit your beliefs because this universe is a creature according to your beliefs, right? But you could say easily
yeah.
that wait, let's don't create confusion. Let's go don't go beyond, and let's say the universe itself is the ultimate thing, creator, creation, or whatever you call. Okay, you could say that, but you don't prefer to do that because your religion says something else. You go one step further, but when you do that, you are not realizing that this gives a chance to other people. For example, me, a non believer, I can say, okay, my friend, if you did it, I will do the same thing. Because you are the one who is starting this problem. If you just say, wait, this universe is not great enough, it requires an explanation. Okay, no problem, let's go. Let's go. Then, my friend, then who created your great creator? What is the cause? So we can go like this, right? Someone can come to me and say, okay, if you're assuming that the creator of this universe has a creator, we can say that that creator also has a creator. Okay, no problem. But I don't know how can or how long can we go, right? Asking these questions. Then you'll say to me, this is an infinite regress, right? Let's don't do that. Okay, let's agree. Then let's don't assume that the universe has a cause in the first place. That's the best solution for it.
Okay. Like you're saying, we can go on and on, but we wouldn't get to like a result because you're saying what you say and I say what I say. But then what's the point of this table? Why are we even talking?
While we're talking, like I always have hope that some people have different kind of knowledge or evidence that's possible, right? Just because you don't have the evidence that I want, that doesn't mean other people don't have the same thing. So
What kind
keep
of
searching.
evidence do you want?
What kind of evidence? Okay, that's a question must be asked in the first place. And people are sometimes never ask the question or they're too late for the question. So what kind of evidence? Okay, so if there is such a super intelligent power, okay, and if he is already communicating with people, okay, such a communication could be a good evidence for me, okay, if we could test the communication itself, okay. For example, let's suppose that you are the prophet, next prophet, okay. You can say, oh no, like Muhammad is the last one. There won't be anyone. It's not my problem. I'm just answering the question hypothetically. Okay, if this happens, then yeah, that's a good evidence for me. So if a God starts to talk to you, okay, I can say, okay, wait a second. I'm an agnostic and I'm open to such kind of possibilities. Maybe you're right. Maybe like there is a God and he's talking to you. But here's the thing: what kind of a God is that? You can say, oh, it's the Muslim God, Allah. Okay, okay, that's even better because I know a lot of things about this God. Okay, so then he knows everything. Okay. So can you ask information that we don't know right now? Like let's say make a list 10 things that we don't know so far. It will happen in the future or it happened in the past that we can test, okay? They must be very extreme examples. For example, the location of other living beings in the universe, okay? Or location of, you know, something existed on this planet, but we couldn't find so far. I don't know what's that example. Or, for example, a star will be destroyed by an asteroid. It will happen in near future, and I want the exact time to observe that and from which location we can observe. So, like such examples, very, very extreme examples that we can test. Or I can easily say, Zazima, okay, are you talking to your God right now? Yes. Okay, I am typing a number on my notebook, okay? So please tell me that number right now, okay? So it's a kind of big number, but not a huge number. I mean, it's a huge number, but for God, it's nothing, I think. So please tell me this number that I wrote on my notebook right now, because if God knows everything, if He's talking to you, He could easily tell this number to me right now, right? Through you. If you can do that, I can start to believe in that God. That's enough evidence for me. That doesn't mean God is real. That doesn't mean you are talking to a God, but that evidence is enough for me to start to believe a God exists.
Okay, but even if God and it did exist and you saw him eye to eye,
Mm-hmm.
you would also say that it's an illusion, and you would also say who said that that's God.
Yeah,
So the problem
I
isn't
gave you the
God, the
example.
problem is the doubt,
Seeing
the
something
doubt
on the
inside you.
sky, just seeing something is not enough evidence, okay? But a communication and testing information coming from that source is an enough evidence for me, okay? So I'm like my evidence is more simple than seeing the God, right? But seeing something, yeah, like
Yes,
it can be illusion. It's not enough. But if I can communicate, if I can get information, and if I can test this information, so now this is different. Okay.
like how test? Are you gonna put it in a lab or something? Like, how are you
I
gonna
just
test
told
it? You get
you. I
scientists
just told
around you.
you. I just told you. Like if this God is talking to you, I can easily check something supernatural here. As I said, he says, ask your God which number I wrote on my notebook. Tell me back. Okay. If you tell me the numbers correctly, that's enough evidence for me. Okay? Because
Cause so you're
I,
looking for
I
a
don't see,
miracle to believe in God.
if you call this miracle,
That's what you're saying.
yes, okay.
Yeah, you want a miracle for you to believe.
If you call this miracle, the answer is yes.
Well, it is a miracle because how the hell would somebody know what you're writing down if he's not even there? And God comes up and tells you it's a miracle because it's impossible.
Okay, that's why it's a good evidence for me, right?
So you're looking for a miracle. You're
Yes,
doubting
it is.
everything because there's no miracle. You want to be sort of astounded by God.
I want to be what?
Like you want him to be outstanding in your eyes, so you need a
It
miracle for
doesn't
you
say
to
in my
believe.
eyes, like you just forgot the example that I gave to you. I even like didn't see him in the example. I said, if he's talking to you and if you're telling me the numbers that I wrote on my notebook, so this example doesn't include seeing the God with my eyes. I even like hearing him. Okay, no sight, no hearing, nothing. I'm just listening you. You're a human. What you say is also good evidence for me. You see, and then you call
So
this
if
not.
I
Yeah, go on.
no, I was actually thinking of something almost funny, I would say, but I think you're gonna get offended, so to leave it.
Maybe you should leave your assumptions aside. It's not an offensive thing, but I see many people.
No,
They
I was
say,
saying I was
even if this happens, you wouldn't believe. Okay, they say this frequently. I like it was the thing that you were thinking.
no. I
Oh,
was I
okay,
was saying
luckily.
that no, I was saying I was saying that I was God. I was actually God, me. And I'm
You
talking
were
to you right now. Why don't you believe me?
you were talking to God. You
No,
should.
I'm saying that I am God right
You're
now, and I'm
God.
talking to you. So what? Yeah, yeah. So you have your evidence now because I'm
No, it's
talking
not
to you.
an evidence. It's not an evidence. Okay, because
Why?
humans
I'm
can
God.
claim easily that they're God. I'm God, Zazima. Okay, now I came into this atheist disgusting person's body. I'm the god right now, so don't talk to him. Okay, he's a dangerous person. He is the slave of the demon. Okay, don't talk to him. Bye bye, take care. So now you believe that it was God that you talked to? No, right? So if you claim that you're God, so it's the same claim. I wouldn't believe. But if you're God right now, tell me the number that I wrote on my notebook.
77733749.
No. Unfortunately, you're a
Are
fake
you
god.
sure? Don't lie to me. I'm God. I know everything. Don't lie to me.
Okay, you think that I'm lying to you. Okay. You know that that's a childish game, right? So,
I'm kidding.
anyway, yeah,
Okay,
sure, you're kidding.
take care, brother. Have a good day, brother. It was good talking
Okay.
to you.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for being polite. Bye
Th-
bye. Take care.
Thank you.